everyone, and welcome back to another Planet Zoo tutorial. It's great to be back, and in this video we're going to start a series of videos on building tips, how you can build in Planet Zoo. In this video we're going to focus on the 3D gizmo, how you can move and rotate your objects, because that is fundamental for building anything in Planet Zoo and for placing your objects where you want them to be. So let's begin. This is a small little zoo that I created over here. It only has one enclosure where we have the Galapagos giant tortoise. Look how cute it is. It looks so realistic. I just love them. And that's why I chose them for this demo zoo. This is the zoo where we're going to basically record all of the tutorials of this series. So I hope you like it. Please let me know in the comments what you think about this. And we can also have some builds in this zoo. So let's start with the gizmo. Let's go here to a more private area like this, and let's go to the construction tab. Just as an example, I'm going to choose something from here. Let's say a statue. Oops, I had the signs selected. That's something that you should always make sure that you're not selecting any specific category. And here I'm going to select all so I can see the statues. It's starting to rain. Oh my god. Let me just change this to no weather. If you ever want to change the weather, you can just disable it over here. And it will be sunny again. Yay! Okay, so let's go to our statue. I'm going to choose the Bornean orangutan stone reward statue. You can choose any item that you would like to have, okay? Here we can see the statue. If we place the statue down, then we can move it by pressing on it and then pressing the keyboard M on our shortcut like this. But this is like the basic tool for moving an object. It will not give us a lot of control over the object. The object will basically be where our cursor is currently at. So if you press the left mouse button, you will be placing down the object definitely in that position. But what if you want to be more specific and move the object in a specific direction? Well, you can do that with this that we have over here, the advanced move and rotate mode. We can enter that mode pressing X, the letter X on our keyboard. That will show us this 3D gizmo. With this gizmo, you will see 3 different arrows. These arrows represent the 3 axes that you can use to move the object in a 3D space. If we have a 3D space like we have in Planet Zoo, where we have width, length, and height, then we have 3 axes, and that is exactly what this 3D gizmo represents. If we want to move our object in this direction, we can move it like this. If we want to move it in this direction, we can move it like this. If we want to move it in this direction, we can move it with the red arrow. And if we want to move it in this direction, we can move it with this arrow. And the vertical arrow is especially helpful because you can bury objects below ground, like this, okay? That's very helpful specifically for foliage, because you can create trees of different heights. You can use the same tree and just bury it underground, and you will have a variety of tree heights. You also have the option to move the object in a 2-dimensional plane like this. If you just want to move the object vertically and in this direction horizontally, you can click on this corner and you will be moving the object in this direction. But notice that we cannot move it towards us or to the back. We cannot make it be farther away from us. That is very helpful in some specific building cases. If you want to move it horizontally in any direction, then you can just press here, click here, and if you want to move it in these 2 directions, you can use these combined axes, which form a plane in these 2 directions. And with this 3D gizmo, you also have 2 different options. You can use the relative axis or the world axis. The relative axis is a 3D gizmo, or the 3D combination of axes that are relative to the current rotation of the object. If we rotate this object, it will be in a different position, right? And these axes will basically rotate with the object. But if we want to use the world axis, which is the same for every object regardless of its rotation, then we can select this option, toggle from relative to world axis. Let's rotate this object and I will show you what this means in just a moment. If we are in this mode, in the advanced move mode, and we want to rotate the object, we just need to press X again and we will see these circles around the object. They're also very helpful and they're used to rotate the object in the 3 different directions that we can see here. If we want to rotate it horizontally like this, we can use the green circle. If we want to rotate it like this, we can use the blue circle. Let's just place the orangutan here. We don't want it to be sunk into the ground. And we can also rotate it in this direction. But you can see that the rotation is done at specific intervals or degrees, right? It's not a smooth rotation. If we want a smooth rotation, we just need to go here to these options and toggle off angle snap. Angle snap will basically move the object a certain number of degrees, so it will take it to a specific angle each time, like this, a predefined angle. Here we're moving the object 45 degrees each time we move it. So 2 movements would be 90 degrees and so on. But if we want to have a smooth rotation, we just toggle this, we just disable this, and you can see that the rotation is smooth now, and that is very, very helpful for finer movements that need more detailing. That's super helpful. And we can also control how fast we rotate or move the objects with the widget speed control. Right now it's at 1, but let's say that I want to rotate the object more slowly. I can decrease the number to 0.5, and you can see that now, even if I'm moving the cursor a lot, the movement is a lot slower. If I increment this to 2, then a small movement of the cursor will make a huge difference in the rotation. But now let's rotate the object a little bit like this, and let's see how this changed the axis. Remember that we were talking about the relative and world axis. So let's rotate it a little bit like this, and let's rotate it a little bit like this, and now we have an item that is placed in a very different position. It has a unique rotation compared to all the other objects, right? But now, if we enter the advanced move mode, you can see that this combination of arrows, these axes, rotated with the item, rotated with the statue. So now if we want to move it front and back, we can just use the blue arrow. But this is relative to the current position of the object. What if we want to continue building relative to the world axis, which is exactly the same for all the objects? We just need to click here on toggle from relative to world axis. And you can see that there is a huge change in the 3D gizmo. Instead of this, now we have this. This will keep the same set of axes and the same directions that we had when we initially placed the item, even if it has been rotated. So now we can just move it in the same directions. But if we want to use relative axes, then we can just toggle this option. And that is also very, very helpful, especially when building custom fences for your habitats. That's something that I've noticed, and you will use this option very frequently if you want to align these barriers the best way possible. In this option in the menu, you can also toggle from translate to rotate and vice versa, or you can use the keyboard shortcut X that we used before. And with this option, you can reset the rotation to the world axis. Oh, voila! Here we have the result. It basically reset the rotation so the item, so the object is aligned to the world axis that we have over here. It basically resets all the rotations and movements. We can also enter surface mode if we want to move the object aligned to the surface horizontally. Like this, it's basically the mode that we get when we start placing the item before we place it, before we start diving into the more advanced options. And here we just cancel or build by with the check mark. So these are all the options that you have in this menu. And let's test, finally, before we actually finish the video, let's test the widget speed control for movement, because we tested it for rotation, like this, right? But what happens if I change this to 0.4? Now the movement is a lot slower, and that is great for detailing when you're building habitats. But if you want to make this even faster, then you can just set it to 2 or somewhere in between, and the movement will be faster. Great, I hope you like this video and tutorial. Stay tuned for more Planet Zoo tutorials. I'm planning to share videos on how to build in Planet Zoo and tips for zoo management. I will see you in the next video. Have an awesome day.